last Q&A before a panel of this session will be between someone, I'm not sure we need to present him, Robert Scoble, American blogger, technical evangelist, and author, and working for Rackspace too. He will do a Q&A with the co-founder and CEO of Gnip. I'm not sure all of you are familiar with this company, but it's like the company you have to work with if you want to get access to the Twitter data. So they will have a Q&A during 15 minutes to help you know more about how we can benefit from this data and a little bit more about the Gnip story. Robert and Jud Valeski, please join me on stage.
Try green. Green's hot.
Hey, so I'm Robert Scoble, and I go around the world and interview tech executives and about the future. And one of the patterns I'm seeing is this age of context is coming. I'm seeing 5 things happening at the same time. I'm seeing the number of sensors on us, so like the Nike Fuel Band or the Fitbit or the Basis watch going way up. We're getting wearable computing, like the Google Glasses. They'll be out by the time we get back here next year for LeWeb, right? The databases are becoming weirder and bigger. We're seeing things, new kinds of databases every couple weeks. We're seeing social networks, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And we're seeing improving and getting deeper. And we're seeing mapping data becoming much more important, where we are and knowing what we're doing. The 5 things combined lets us build very personalized products. And for businesses, it lets us understand the customer in a deep, deep way. And you guys have a business that's very unique because you study the social streams that we're all spitting out, the Instagrams, the Twitters, and the... Well, tell me what you do.
Sure. So Gnip, first of all, Gnip is a company that believes social data has unlimited value and near limitless application. We work with publishers of social content, for example, Twitter, WordPress, Tumblr, Discuss, and filter and enrich that content down to a variety of enterprises and categories that are trying to make sense of that data. So we actually don't analyze it ourselves. Our customers do that. We're all about the infrastructure to filter and enrich that content and get it out to our customer base.
And you have one of the only Twitter Firehose licenses. So you work with Twitter. They give you that Firehose. How many tweets a day is that?
Approximately 400 million tweets a day move through the top of the system from a Twitter standpoint. We have Firehose relationships with a variety of different publishers, however, and so many more come in total. Another interesting number is we disseminate 100 billion social activities to our customer base each month. So tremendous amount of human-generated social content moves through our system.
Wow. And the infrastructure that you need to deal with the yes. I'm sorry?
I'm moving, I guess.
Okay.
All right, here we are.
Great. All right. There you go. They're shooting TV. So so Twitter, you have these 400 million tweets. What are you enabling businesses to do with this? Well, give me a sense of what people are doing with this.
So 5 general customer categories: social media monitoring firms. Simple example of that would be Radian6. These are firms that take the social content and by nature are monitoring that, alerting on it, analyzing that content. Another vertical would be finance. The finance industry looks at this vast amount of content. High-frequency traders and hedge fund managers, for example, look at this content and they try to identify signal and place financial bets against it. Business intelligence community is marrying social content with traditional proprietary in-house data repositories. Government and disaster relief organizations are leveraging social content as well. Understanding who is where and the magnitude of a natural disaster when one unfortunately occurs is a big part of how they're leveraging social content. And then ad tech is evolving as well. And I enjoyed your interview with Lazaro from Salesforce, Buddy Media previously,
Yep.
he made a point, which is something that's been on my mind for a long time, which is we're still using cookies in ad tech to do all of the heavy lifting. Well, cookies are 15-year-old technology, and to the tune of 400 million tweets per day and untold other social activities occurring each day, we have this new signal that a variety of industries can start to leverage and provide much more impactful products and services. Ad tech being an example of that.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the infrastructure that you have to build to deal with that stream coming off of Twitter, because 400 million tweets a day now, and it's probably doubling every 18 months still. What kind of infrastructure do you have?
It's a significant investment. We've spent millions of dollars over the past few years constructing what we've done. It's a system that consumes spikes of social activities in the range of 15, 20, 25,000 items per second when there's a storm, so to speak. So there's rapid processing of vast amounts of content in real time. That processing takes complex filters that our users create and distills the content down to precisely what it is they're interested in. We have a highly scalable, sustained connectivity piece of infrastructure that ensures we're working as hard as we can to deliver precisely the content that our customers are asking for. We have this internal saying around every social activity matters that moves through the system. That's our enterprise customers have business critical needs for this content in real time as well as historical, and we've built out infrastructure to handle that.
Yeah, at Rackspace, we built a team to monitor everything said about Rackspace, our competitors, the industry we serve, and we built our own custom tools. What would you recommend to a Procter & Gamble that wants to watch everybody talk about cleaning clothes in the world and build a system like that? What do they need to know when they come and approach you?
First and foremost, I would put out there that the content they're interested in needs to be provided and delivered in a sustainable manner. Just yesterday, Gnip announced the Plugged Into Gnip program, and this program is highlighting the relationship between Gnip, its publishers, as well as our partners, and it illustrates everyone signing on to this sustainable social data ecosystem. So our customers, our partners, our customers' customers can sleep at night knowing that they're getting high-quality, sustainable content that's official or commercial in nature, so they don't have to worry about it going away. And so this sustainability of the data ecosystem itself is a big part that everyone up and down the stack should be aware of. Enterprises are investing hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars often on this infrastructure, such as what you were describing at Rackspace. You don't want to make that investment on a shaky foundation. You want assurances that the content's going to be there in a reliable, sustainable manner.
Yeah, you have two kinds of streams that you can kick off. I mean, the Catholic Church just announced that the Pope is going to tweet, right? There's going to be hundreds of millions of tweets a day or a week at least come in because of that. He had 200,000 followers in 24 hours, pretty crazy. What are the two kinds of streams? Because you have real-time streams and then a complete stream. Explain what you're going to there.
We have real-time products. We also have historical products. We're the only company in the world, other than Twitter, that has a complete archive of the tweet corpus, full DB there. So real-time historical products and historical products. And then on the real-time side of things, we have, actually on the historical as well, we have two categories of product. One we'd call volume-based product. The other one would be a coverage-based product. And the volume products are taking statistically relevant, randomized samples of these fire hoses as they come in to the infrastructure, and then they deliver that sample out to our customer. And that's not a 100% coverage product. That's, again, a statistically relevant sampled product.
Yeah.
Our coverage product lines are about ensuring 100% coverage of just the information you're looking for. So our coverage-based products allow you to construct very complex filters using our operator language against the stream. And then we do the work to distill the content down to, again, just what you're looking for. So we take on the investment and the hard work to deal with the mass volume of inbound content and get you just what it is you need.
Do you help companies write these filters? Because like I was watching the word Madonna during the Super Bowl, right? And there was so much to go through. I couldn't even read them all. They were going so fast I couldn't even see the tweets. How do I filter those into useful buckets that I can then maybe see some sentiment or something? And do you help companies build those filters?
We do help the companies build those filters. There's plenty of documentation with respect to how the language works, and we will provide support. It's an art. Constructing filters in any language is a real challenge, and it's your ability to do so is a function of the complexity of the language, the features it supports, and we've invested heavily in that over the years. But there are different ways to refer to keywords or names or brands, and it can be a real challenge.
Yeah. You don't yet study Facebook, right? I think you have an aspiration to study Facebook. What do you need from them? Because Facebook's very different than Twitter. Twitter's almost all public. When I tweet, it's all going to the public. Facebook, some of my tweets go public, some of them go private. And when you make a deal with Facebook, are you going to be able to? How are you going to be able to study that?
Sure. So a couple things I'd say. One, all we work with is public social content. Private messages that move through Twitter from a DM standpoint do not move through our system. Private messages on these various social services are not something we work with. We actually do provide access to Facebook content via their public API on behalf of our customers. But to your point, it's not a full 100% fire hose coming into the system from Facebook.
Yeah.
Certainly we aspire for that. We're constantly working on trying to get that into the mix. We believe it provides a better experience all the way around for everybody, but we're not there. But it's a constant illustration of the role we're playing in the ecosystem, how we're helping, again, all those 5 business categories make sense of social content. And there's a virtuous cycle there where the social service itself benefits from the distribution channel we've created for all of that content. So it's in the bucket of highly desired on our part, trying to work with Facebook to pull that off. Can't make any official comments, obviously, with respect to how that's necessarily going. But it's interesting working with the various publishers and the different perspectives they have on their content. From wide open, everyone should have everything, to no, this is a very closed scenario. We're tightly controlled and so on, and runs the spectrum.
Tell me about the competitive landscape. I think there's only 2 or 3 official partners of the Twitter firehose. What separates? Why would I go with you instead of one of the competitors?
Sure. So there are a handful of companies that have what we call resyndication rights of tweets. Gnip is one of them. Our focus is around enterprise, business-critical delivery of this social content. We do not analyze. A couple of times you've referenced, us introspecting the actual content. We actually don't. We're really the plumbing and the infrastructure, and we put all of our energy into providing reliable products to our customers, our enterprise customers. And our focus is really there. The technical challenges around dealing with all of that content coming in, distilling it down in a reliable, consistent manner, those are significant technical challenges, and that's where our energy and focus is and is going to remain. So I guess that's how I'd answer the question. We're enterprise focused on this business critical need for this constant access to the content.
What's the challenge and maybe the opportunity for the next year? If we get together in a year, what will you have done with your business that you're trying to do right now?
Yeah, well, a couple of months ago we released our historical product, and that's looking back in time, given a timestamp A and a timestamp B, looking for just the content you're interested in. So that's relatively new, something we recently introduced to the market. That will continue to mature. Gnip's about 5 years old now, and over the course of those 5 years, a lot of social content has been generated. And in the beginning, it was all about real-time access to that content because there was no historical content. It was just too early in the lifespan. Well, several years have passed now, so there is actually a lot of historical content now, and the uptake we're seeing on the historical product is great. We'll continue to see that, and I think you're going to see this interesting balance across those 5 industries with respect to how they use real-time content and how they use historical content.
Yeah, you're not keeping a profile on each user out there like Robert Scoble as he's going around LeWeb tweeting. You're not building a profile. You're just the infrastructure for the plumbing. Your customers could build profiles on us, like Clout probably could build a profile on us.
Precisely. We don't do any user profiling. We don't construct that social graph or use that in any way. That's a great example. Clout's a great example of a company doing precisely that. They're taking this real-time content and building phenomenal products on top of that are indeed built around the concept of a profiler or a user.
Very cool. Well, our time here is up. Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for coming on stage and talking about this remarkable business.
That was great.
It's really
thanks,
a business you should be watching, because as our social streams and as our data keeps flowing off of our sensors, we're really going to need more and more businesses like yours. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Jud. Thank you. Oh, yeah.